The Eagles are interested in potentially bringing a retractable dome stadium to South Philadelphia. It's just a rumor. It is just a rumor. But the reason that this rumor has some legs is it looks like there's about 8 years left on the Eagles' lease down in South Philadelphia. At that point, Lincoln Financial Field would be 30 years old. And you know when you don't have a retractable roof, it's extremely, extremely unlikely that you'll ever get a Super Bowl here. I know they had it in New York. It was a disaster. It snowed before the game and the week leading up to it. It was a big disaster. I doubt the NFL will ever make that mistake again unless you have a retractable roof. I am all for it, man. If the Eagles could bring a dome to South Philadelphia, I know there are the traditionalists out there who think that the NFL and football should be played no matter the weather, and they love the cold weather, they love the snow. You put a retractable roof stadium in South Philly, sign me up, Amy.
Yeah, it obviously would change the dynamic a lot for Eagles games and how that would work. But I think that the payoff is so much greater for, like you mentioned, bowl games, potentially a Super Bowl, which would be amazing because they're not going to have it in a my voice is going. They're not going to have it in a northern city again without a dome. I think they learned their lesson from the Meadowlands.
The one at MetLife Stadium was a disaster. But it would just be so cool. I mean, to have a Super Bowl here in of itself would be incredible. Absolutely incredible. And the amount of money that would probably get generated from doing something like that for the city because of the tourism that comes when you get a Super Bowl or a big game. And you also concerts, because right now, February, March, April, maybe April you could start to squeeze some things in, but like January, February, outside of football, you're not doing anything at Lincoln Financial. It's too cold. Ray, would you be on board?
Yes, because I see the greater good. There is the little, Philadelphia to me.
Keep it outside.
It's
keep
tough
football
to come
outside.
here in January because it's cold.
Well, then you just keep the roof open then.
Yeah, the
I
retractable
think the players
roof
would probably be for it.
Yeah, it probably makes that the ideal. And plus, by the time we get there, like you said, it'll be 30 years old. We'll probably be looking for something. I got to be forward thinking here. As a prisoner of the moment, and the little I don't know, I'm almost caveman inside of me is like, no, make sure it's nice and cold at all times. But forget the roof.
Look at Detroit, right? They got Ford Field, and it's a dome. But they have home field advantage because of how loud it gets. See, I keep thinking about not only the weather, put that aside, how loud would the Eagles Stadium be if there was a roof on it? I think this would be one of the toughest places to play in the NFL.
Oh, it would be exceptional.
Yeah, it already is, I think. But
it is. But it would be even because of how raucous the fans are. And if anybody's ever been in a dome, it's crazy. Seattle's not a dome, but yet somehow it's still loud. I've been in that one. That's the loudest stadium I've ever been in.
But they literally caused an earthquake when Marshawn Lynch had
that
playoff run a few years ago.
We were there the year that the Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl, and you could feel I felt like my chest was vibrating because of how loud it was. You physically shook.
So that
was strange.
Isn't that by design, though? Isn't that designed to keep the sound?
It's concave, kind of the way it is. So it's not a dome, but it's got the concave sides.
Not an architect, but I can pretend that I know what's going on.
I used the word concave.
I just used the line is designed that way. I was more impressed. Concave, yeah. All right, good stuff.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome. I'm all for it. I'm curious what fans think about it. I mean, it's only a pipe dream right now. We'd be looking at probably 9 years from now that this would happen. And there's another new stadium potentially coming. It passed a big hurdle. So City Council had their preliminary vote or initial approval last night. It passed 12-4.
That was a big hurdle.
Yeah, one member, Kendra Brooks, was absent. So it passed 12-4. And now the final vote will be next week. But everything I'm reading is that more as a formality. That's just going to happen.
Yeah, the only way I think from what I read that it wouldn't happen is if there's any kind of amendments presented that would push the timeline back. If there's any new amendments, because they I guess, negotiated a certain amount of how much the Sixers would pay to revitalize parts of the Chinatown area. The city then came and said that they would pay for, I wish it was a donation, for $20 million. Things like that obviously would need to be defined as far as where the money would come from. But I think it was the Mayor Parker said $20 million for housing and any kind of upgrades around would come from the city. And the Sixers, I think, pledge $60 million. Because I think that there were one of the studies that said between 75 and 100 million is what's needed to fully revitalize the entire area with, shops and restaurants and housing and apartments and things like that.
I believe they were
Parking.
initially at 50.
Yeah, and the Sixers
City
came
saw
up.
it 100 and it went up to 60.
Yeah, I think the valuation, there was like a couple of those studies that said you needed to be north of 75. So I think that they got there with between the city and the Sixers coming through. So it'll be interesting to see. The one study that I keep going back to is the initial one, is that they said that they needed 40% of fans in attendance to take public transportation.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. They're going to have to retrain people on how to get down there because I know a lot of people like to drive. I mean, I'm going to the Flyers game tonight. I'll drive down. I like to drive.
Easy to do.
It's easy. You're in and out. But I think if they put that Sixers arena in Center City, and look, I live in Jersey, so they're redoing that Paco station down there in Chinatown. So, I mean, it'll be easy to get right to there, but we'll see how it all goes. The crazy thing is, though, in 10 years, when Ray finally turns 21, he could have 2 brand new arenas to go to down in South Philly if there's a new football stadium, and then the Sixers arena. Ray, that would be pretty exciting for you.
There you go. 11-year-old Ray is excited currently for 21-year-old Ray.
I'm very excited for my ability to potentially stay in the area I'm located to be able to walk to a Sixers game.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool, being able to walk.
You walk to the Navy Yard.
Yeah, I mean,
You could currently walk to a Sixers.
Yeah, he walks far.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done the full length walk all the way to, I walk. Yeah, okay, so I've basically done the walk entirely to the arena. It's a good point. I'm excited for a shorter walk that normal
there it is.
people
Ray
walk.
wants a shorter walk as he gets older.
And obviously, when it's colder, you might consider taking transportation.
Yes, and I usually do. I'm usually a Broad Street line down to the game now anyways. But, yeah, I'm excited for a little bit of a shorter walk. My nice big overcoat.
I think they're progressing for 31 would be when they would want to open it.
Hey everybody, it's Bill Colarulo. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you can engage during the show and you're not going to want to miss all the content that we post. It's not only the live videos, it's videos after the fact. It's our shorts. It's all the content you want as a Philadelphia sports fan. Looking forward to connecting.